Hi, it's Karen with Living Our Dream Homestead, where today we're going to be making a southern blackberry jam cake. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please click the button down below. The first thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and turn on our oven to 350 degrees. We are going to go ahead and use a bundt pan. And I went ahead and greased mine with butter, and then I put flour all over it. And then again, I just kind of turned the pan upside down and pat it on the back to shake out the excess. Now you can use a spray if you would like. Now we are going to be using actually blackberry jelly. Now it does call for blackberry jam, but you can use blackberry jelly, or you could use raspberry or even plum if you would like. So let me go ahead and turn around the camera and show you how to make this southern blackberry jam cake. First thing we need to do is we need to take a large bowl, and in it I've put, this is a sieve. Now you can use just like a handheld sifter if you'd like, but I'm going to use this like a sieve. And we are going to go ahead and take 2½ cups of all-purpose flour, and we are going to go ahead and sift this into the bowl. You could either shake it like this where it's coming out, as you can see on the bottom, or you could also use a spoon just so you can stir it a little bit. It's hard to do it with one hand. And I'm going to go ahead and sift that flour into the bowl right now. Okay, now that I have my flour sifted into the bowl, we are going to go ahead and add in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pure baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and then we are going to be adding in 1 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. I'm going to go ahead and put those in here, and we're going to sift that through into the flour. Now that I got those spices sifted, as you can see in the flour, we're going to go ahead and set this aside. We are going to go ahead and get another large bowl. Now that I've got my large bowl, I've put in it 1 cup of unsalted butter. Now this was butter that I had left out on the counter at room temperature for at least an hour, so it will be soft. We are going to go ahead and add to this 1 cup of sugar. This is granulated cane sugar, and we are going to go ahead and beat this with a mixer, like a hand mixer or a stand-up mixer, till light and fluffy, about 3 minutes. Now that we've got that butter now light and fluffy, we're going to go ahead and add in 3 large eggs that I had sitting out at room temperature. When we beat in our eggs, we need to beat each one and then incorporate it with the mixer and mix it in. So that way they're getting all incorporated into our butter and sugar batter. When beating in the eggs, I forgot to tell you that we needed to have it on low speed. And now I'm going to go ahead and measure out a cup of blackberry jelly to put into our batter, and then we'll use the mixer to mix it up. When you get your jelly or jam out of the container, you might want to go ahead and use a spoon just to break up any lumps. I mean, of course, mine was really gelled, just so that I could get it to exactly 1 cup. And I'll go ahead and put that into our batter right now. Your batter should look like this. Isn't that a beautiful color? Make sure, again, you mixed it up very well, so as you say, you don't have, I still have a little bit of yellow here. I'll mix up a little bit more of that in there. Now we're going to go ahead on low speed. We are going to go ahead and get our flour mixture that we have right there, and we are going to go ahead and we are going to start with some buttermilk. Now we do need a cup of buttermilk. Now you can do the buttermilk substitute, which I did. Here's my buttermilk right here. I took a tablespoon of lemon juice, and then I put it in the measuring cup, and then I put milk up to the 1 cup line, and I let it sit at least 5 minutes to curdle. And as you can see, it kind of has curdled. I'm actually using whole milk in this recipe. You don't have to use whole milk. You could use 2% milk. I don't know how skim milk would be in this recipe, but I would use either whole milk or 2% milk. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a little bit of buttermilk. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in some of the flour mixture over here. And then we are going to use the mixer on low speed to combine. Now that we have combined all that flour and buttermilk together, we need to go ahead and either pour it into our bundt pan, or we can use a spoon and spoon it in there. Now we need to go ahead and take this Southern Blackberry jam cake and put it in a 350-degree oven, and we are going to go ahead and bake it for 45 to 50 minutes, or until you take a toothpick and insert it in the cake more towards the center, and then it will be done. The Southern Blackberry jam cake is all done. I'm letting it cool here completely. So I had it in the pan, I let it cool in here 10 minutes, and then I took a knife and went around the edges to get it so it wasn't going to be stuck. And then I took this and put it on here and like inverted it so that I could get it onto this platter. So we'll go ahead and let it cool, like I said, completely, and then we will work on a brown butter icing. We need to take a saucepan, and in it I have 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. We're going to go ahead and put in half a cup of brown sugar. I need to go ahead and get another one. My other one was dirty. And we'll go ahead and we will mix this up, and we will let it boil, and we will need to be stirring constantly. Make sure when you get your brown sugar and you've got it in the container that you firmly pack it down. So now we just have to go ahead and get the butter melted and get this boiling. As you can see, the butter is almost melted. I've got my heat again on medium heat, and we need to be stirring constantly until it is boiling. As you can see, it is boiling. So we're going to go ahead and remove it from the heat, and we are going to go ahead and cool this 3 to 5 minutes. Now that it's completely cool, we're going to go ahead and add in 1.5 cups of confectionery sugar, and we're going to mix in 4 tablespoons of milk with it to make a glaze. Now, if you think it's a little bit too thick, you can add additional milk if necessary. I will go ahead and get ready to drizzle it over the blackberry cake. Now, you don't have to put all the glaze all over the blackberry jam cake, but I did. You can also put it on each individual slice if you'd like. I'll go ahead and cut a piece and show you what it looks like. Here's a piece. Doesn't that look delicious? Now, I would go ahead and store the cake in the refrigerator because the icing has milk in it. Well, if you like this video, please hit the like button down below. This was Karen with Living Our Dream Homestead. I hope you have a good day.